I remember the day everything changed. It was an ordinary Tuesday. I stood in line at the time exchange waiting to pay for my morning coffee. I had just enough time on my wrist to cover it. Time was our currency now. Each person carried a small device that counted down the seconds, minutes, and hours they had left in life. Selling time was the norm. Buying it was a must. I thought I understood how it all worked. My name is Alex. I was once a teacher, shaping young minds, but that was before the time collapse. The government decided to replace money with time. The idea was simple. No one could cheat the system. Everyone had the same amount of time to start. But it didn't take long for things to spiral. The rich could buy endless hours, while the poor struggled to survive. I was among the latter. My time dwindled daily. I worked multiple jobs, scraping by, hoping to make it to the next day. One day, while I was working at the time exchange, something strange happened. A woman burst through the door. Her eyes were wild. She shouted, "They're stealing time. I thought she was crazy." But then I saw it. The screen flickered. Time was disappearing from everyone's accounts. Panic spread. People screamed and rushed to the exits. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. I had just lost hours I couldn't afford to lose. I decided to investigate. I teamed up with the woman who introduced herself as Mira. She was a tech expert, someone who used to work on the systems that controlled the time exchange. Together, we dug deeper. We learned that a group of hackers was siphoning time from the system. They were targeting the vulnerable like us. We had to stop them. We gathered a small group, people who had lost everything just like us. We met in the shadows of abandoned buildings. We shared stories. We found strength. Each person had a reason to fight. I felt hope for the first time in months. We worked together, creating a plan to expose the hackers. We knew it wouldn't be easy, but we had no choice. On the day of the confrontation, we stormed the time exchange. The hackers were there, their screens glowing with stolen time. I felt adrenaline rush through me. We shouted, demanding they stop. They laughed, thinking they were untouchable, but we had numbers. We fought back. It was chaotic. But in that chaos, I remembered something. Time is precious. Time isn't just a number, it's life. In the end, we won. The hackers were arrested, and the stolen time was returned. It wasn't just a victory for us, it was a victory for everyone. People began to realize that time should not be a commodity. We needed to value it differently. I went back to teaching, but this time with a renewed purpose. We learned to help each other. Time was no longer just a currency, it was a bond. Now, as I sit in my class,